Aloha and welcome to our video on the digestive system. Our goals for the video is to trace the path of food through the digestive system, and we'll have a short little talk about glycogen. Okay, so let's talk about the digestive system. In the digestive system, there's four basic processes that happen. We start with ingestion, then we go through what we call digestion, then we go through absorption, and we end up with elimination. The ingestion part is how we get food into the system. And primarily, ingestion is going to work through the mouth and the esophagus. So we'll take the food, put it in the mouth. Within the mouth, several things happen. We have teeth that'll break it down into smaller pieces. We have saliva that has a couple digestive enzymes in them, so it'll start breaking the food down. But more so, it makes it kind of like a wet, pasty substance that is easier to transfer through the digestive system. You won't want to put through a bunch of different solid pieces. You kind of want to grind it up a little bit and make it, and that's what the ingestion part does. Next up is the process of digestion, and this is where we're breaking down the food. A lot of that will happen here in the stomach, and in the stomach is where we add stomach acid, some more enzymes. It kind of gurgles and churns and bubbles and boils and all that kind of fun stuff in your stomach, and it makes it into this chyme substance, this like liquidy, soupy, nutrient-rich soup that's going to go through. There's a little bit of digestion that occurs in the intestines as well. And then also we're going to get some materials from the gallbladder, the liver, and the pancreas that are going to aid in this digestion. Some more of the enzymes and digestive juices, so to speak. Okay, so now that we have all of this nutrients that have been digested and broken down into smaller bits and pieces, we need to get it into the body. And that's what the absorption part is. Now, absorption is going to happen in the intestines for the most part. The small intestine generally takes out a little bit more in the nutrients. The large intestine is going to be a little bit more of recovering last minute nutrients, but also water. So all of the water that we've added to our food to digest it, we try and extract that water back out. So that's the purpose of absorption. It's trying to get the stuff into the body. And that leads us to the last stage, which is the elimination stage. The elimination stage deals with just the last two pieces. The rectum is where it's going to store the food and again try and extract out that last bit of water that it can, and then it gets rid of the food through the anus. And what you notice is it's a one-way system. So we put food into the mouth, it progresses through the digestive system, goes through all the steps, and then comes back out that way. So it's really an interesting way that the system works. We take the food, break it up, make it into a soupy-like structure, digest out, get all the nutrients out that we can, absorb those into the body, and then get rid of the waste products. Okay, so let's review the digestive system real quickly. Remember, there are four different phases to the digestive system. The first was ingestion, and ingestion is where we're breaking down food. We're entering it in through the mouth, it goes through the esophagus there, and it's just basically how we get the food into the system. Next up was the digestive phase, and that's the further breaking down. This is where we're adding chemicals and kind of churning it in the stomach. The chemicals come from the liver, the gallbladder, and the pancreas, and a little bit from the small intestine, but this is where we're breaking those molecules down into usable products. We then get to the absorption part here, and in the absorption occurs in the intestines, and that's where we're going to be taking out the water and the nutrients from this like digested sludge of the food that we've eaten per se. And that leads us to the elimination phase, and that comes through where we store the food in the rectum and then expel it out through the anus. So what you can see is we have our four different processes of the digestive system. So the ingestion part, the digestive, the absorption, and the elimination. And it's a one-way system like we mentioned. So it starts in the mouth, ends in the anus. We put the food in, take the wastes out, and we absorb whatever we can during the process of it. Okay, the last topic I want to talk to you about in today's video is going to be glycogen here. Glycogen is a polymer, so that means it's a large molecule. It's made up of a bunch of smaller molecules called monomers, and in the case of glycogen, the monomer, the building blocks for it is going to be glucose. And if you can recall, glucose is what the cells use in cellular respiration to produce ATP, which is what our cells use for energy. So there's a couple different things with this glycogen I want to show you. First, we have this ingestion into the body, and we'll take it in through starch, glycogen itself, disaccharides, and monosaccharides, basically the sugars. We get the sugars inside of our body. Then we will distribute and utilize what we can. So through the digestive system, we'll absorb these sugars, and the circulatory system will send it out to the cells, and whatever we can use, we use. And this is going to be primarily broken down into just glucose molecules. If there's extra, then we store it in the body as glycogen. And you can see a molecule here of what it looks like. It's just this knotted mess of glucose molecules together. It's a large molecule, but it stores a lot of glucose together, keeps it together that way for us. So glycogen is how we store extra glucose in the body for use later on. Okay, well that's it for our video. As always, good luck on the lessons, and we'll see you in the next video.